How's it going, everybody? It's the Shirtless Chef coming at you with another episode of How to Grill. So, let's roll the title. So, today on How to Grill, we're going to be making a shrimp dinner. We've got shrimp skewers, shrimp on a skewer, got 3 of them. Butter, Old Bay seasoning, potatoes, onions, and tomatoes, our tongs, zesty Italian dressing, and honey-infused balsamic vinegar, and yellow squash. So our first move is probably to put the squash on first, since it's going to take the longest. So we're just going to Sorry, I had to re-rotate the camera. I don't know if you all can hear me. I'm back in shadow again this time. But, wow, that's hot. But we are going to take our yellow squash and set that on the grill. Ironically, this contraption is intended to cook corn cobs, not squash. So we'll see how it works. But that's our start. We're going to add some Italian dressing to our squash. Too much dressing. And yellow squash doesn't have a lot of flavor, so we're going to have to wait for it to kind of cook. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get some balsamic vinegar, honey balsamic, and we've got tomatoes, onions, and potatoes. And we are going to cook them on our pan. We have a grill pan over here that we are going to lay our potatoes, onions, and tomatoes on. So I'm going to take these I am not going to take that and do that. I'm going to add some vinegar, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and toss this together. My hands are clean, so I'm going to take and I'm going to kind of move them around, get everything kind of coated in vinegar. And the thing is, with tomatoes grow relatively well. Hey dog, tomato? Yes, I have a basset hound out here that loves tomatoes. But we're going to kind of try and get this kind of smushed together. Kind of get the vinegar on there. And we are going to place it on our grill pan. Probably better off to use the tongs here. To get at least the onions and whatnot. Well, it's been pretty good so far. I've been wondering about doing a grilling series, especially with the warmer weather now. I'm trying to show that you can eat relatively healthy and still do pretty good. You're not sacrificing the flavor for eating healthy. Yeah, the potatoes are a pure starch. That's about the worst that we've got so far, is our potato. And I'm sorry about the traffic noise in the background. That is Alcoa Highway. You're from Knoxville, you've heard it called Ikelia Highway because it's so bad and is notoriously getting worse. My tomatoes do not want to cooperate. Now our shrimp skewers aren't going to take that long, maybe a few minutes. I'm going to flip our squash. Get back in there. Yeah, we had a malfunction with our squash. It came out, but not too bad. I like the way that looked when I flipped it, so we're putting it back so it'll continue to char on that side. So I'm going to try and shuffle the camera around in a minute so you all can see the grill. Just got to get the last of this put on. It's picking up again. But let me flip the camera. There we go. Sorry, I needed to flip the camera so you all could see what was going on. I'm going to pour a little bit more of our Italian dressing on our squash. This is actually a corn cob griller, as opposed to a squash griller, but it works for this. I'm trying to make it so I'm not as hunched over, while you all can still see the grill. Yeah, my head's just going to be cut off at this point. So be it. Okay, that's a little better. Don't know how much you can hear of me versus the traffic, but we're going to flip our... We're not going to flip our squash over again. We're going to wait. I'm going to close the lid, though. I'm going to close the lid. I questioned whether I should because I heard it burning. But no, it's just where the grill is. Where the handle of that horn holder peeks out of the grill. And the lid just kind of presses against it. So, I'm the Shirtless Chef. It's one, I do these videos to raise awareness for CDH, but also to teach people how to cook. I didn't really learn how to cook until probably the last 5 years. Probably since I moved to Knoxville, Tennessee. So I go through and I deal with a lot of different things. So I work retail, grocery retail to be more specific. I work on for a nonprofit, CDH Stars and Angels. I do game streaming. I do a little bit of everything. I also do cosplay under the CDH Warrior, so looks like it's doing pretty good. Trying to see about getting some grill marks on this squash. Go back in. Back in your cage. That squash trying to fall. What's really interesting with this is where the squash is. Where the squash is on the grill. Squash isn't going to take that long. Probably a few more minutes, and then we'll put our shrimp on. Which, let's move back to our shrimp, because that's really kind of the star of this. So, let's move back and I'll show you how to prepare our shrimp. We've got them on skewers right now, but they're over here on a plate. What we're going to do is we're going to brush them with butter. I know I'm terrible at this, but that smells so good, and I'm trying to discern if I can smell the food on the grill or the plate of balsamic that is in front of me. So, if you remember where I seasoned the potatoes and onions with balsamic vinegar, I believe, yes, it was honey balsamic. Our shrimp isn't going to take very long, maybe a few minutes. So, is that your opinion of it, Malcolm? Is that your opinion? Apparently, the Basset has an opinion on our shrimp. But we have brushed our shrimp with butter. We're also going to take, this is what's called Old Bay seasoning. And we're going to just kind of lightly sprinkle. Lightly sprinkle. With Old Bay. So that side is seasoned. We're going to flip our potatoes and onions again, and tomatoes. Potatoes are doing quite nice. Okay, that one burned. I apparently have a great record of burning things, but we'll deal with that. Nothing's too terribly burned. Some of it's a little bit overcooked, but we're trying to focus on the shrimp. It's adding flavor. Take that potato off. So, sorry for moving you all over the place. Got different angles for all this. We're almost ready to pull our potatoes, onions, and tomatoes off. So we're going to grab this. I just kind of wanted the onions to where they started to blister. Now for our, this all stuff. So be it. Tomatoes don't really grill well. Sorry, I'm still trying to pull potatoes off. The tomatoes did really well. I'm actually impressed with that. Tomatoes will grill, but they're not the greatest thing to try and grill. I really should have coated this with oil first, but I didn't think about that at the time. Squash back over. I was going to put more squash and realized it's kind of charred on that side. We're not looking for burnt, we're looking for brown. The potatoes and onions did pretty well. heat on this pan. Because the thing is, when we throw our shrimp on, they're just going to take a minute or two. So that kind of gets everything started. Our shrimp's not going to take very long. 3 to 4 minutes per side, and the shrimp will be done. I may end up putting the shrimp on the top rack. I'm going to attempt. Let's see how this will work. Leave it this way. No, you're going to hang on. We're going to use the lower pan. But I need to empty the pan. Okay, I guess that one's for the grill. Now we are going to take our shrimp and put them on the grill pan. Now apparently the bee wants to be part of the part of the cooking video. But we're almost done here. So we're going to go ahead and put our shrimp on the grill. We're simply going to pick our skewers up and lay them on the grill pan. Now I'm going to pour a little bit of our vinegar back over our potatoes and onions. Close our lid. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with our shrimp. Still not bad. 30-minute video. Grilling takes a little bit of time. Oh my God, that's heavenly. I just had a bit of the potato, and that grilled quite well. I think I kind of overcooked our onion. Moderate. check our squash. So the grill is putting a little bit of pressure on that pan with the squash. Normally that's used for corn, so it's not the best idea to grill squash in it, but we do what works. But it's honestly not going to take us too much longer. We're going to attempt. Not wanting to rotate. We're going to brush our shrimp with a little more butter. But we'll wait a few more minutes on that. We've brushed our shrimp. Let's see how our veg turned out. That tastes really good. Wish our veg had cooked a little bit better, but so far that's my only complaint about this meal. So there's actually an interesting way to tell if shrimp is cooked. And it has to do with the shape of the shrimp. Ooh, that side's really good. I'm going to bring the camera a little closer. Here's our shrimp. So that's the one I just flipped. See how it's starting to cook quite well? Yes, it's a little bit charred, but it's cooked. One of the hardest things with shrimp and pretty much any seafood is making sure it's cooked all the way through. But there's our shrimp. We'll be back in a few more minutes with our plated dinner. Stay tuned. Here we are, folks. It's time to pull our shrimp off the grill. Grab a plate. We've got 3 plates because we've got 3 different things coming off the grill. We already saw our veg come off the grill. Here. So our plate here. Check. We're going to get our squash off the grill first. Because apparently I forgot that squash can burn. I apparently still forget that squash can burn and my hand is somewhat flammable. But anyway. Here is our squash. It kind of scorched on the skins. But all this was Italian dressing. That turned out pretty good. I think I'm going to wait until this plane passes. But here's our shrimp coming off the grill. White shrimp skewer. Looks pretty good, don't you think? Nice and tasty. Now for the real test. The only thing I'll state, I think I left the shrimp on there a little too long. So be it. I'm not used to grilling shrimp. I'm used to cooking it in a pan. So let's move to where it's quieter, into the kitchen. See you there. So we're back in the kitchen, and I just wanted to show you the final plating. So I'm just going to leave the shrimp on the skewer like this. We're going to take and pull. This was actually made for corn, but we used it for our squash, and it worked moderately well. But we're going to move a couple of squash. It's going to be about 4 pieces of squash a piece. But squash, our skewer of shrimp, let me get a fork, and we will shuffle so potato, onion, and tomato mixture. It burned, unfortunately. This was kind of a trial and error with this part of it, because potatoes, onions, and tomatoes don't all cook at the same rate. So it was kind of a how do you tell if one is done over another? But here's our final plating. So for the Shirtless Chef, this has been How to Grill. Have a great day. With a complete grilled shrimp dinner. With shrimp, potatoes, tomatoes, onions, and squash. Have a great day.